Anthony Joshua, this video is for you. I call out, I wanted to knock you out, and now you're talking shit to say Ajagba. Ajagba is going to beat me. Shame on you. How many times did I call you out? How many times did I ask you to fight in Africa? You don't even feel shame of yourself. I want to fight you. I want to knock you out. Look at Daniel Dubois, broke his nose twice. He knocked you out cold. What happened to me? I'll knock you out in the first round. You're talking about Ajagba. Ajagba is a baby. Wait till you see how I'm going to knock him out. I'll invite you to be there. You're talking shit. I want to fight you. Stop talking nonsense. Now you say you're Nigeria. You're not British anymore. I'll knock you out. I'm African giant. I'm African warrior. I'll knock you out. You. After knocking Ajagba out, I'll knock you out as well.
Now that didn't take long, did it? There is Martin McCaulay, livid on the comments that Anthony Joshua made about picking Efe Ajagba over him. And, you know, I think that Martin McCaulay is offended because I think, like I figured, when I heard AJ pick Efe, I thought about where he was at. I thought about he was back home, his second home, his parents' former residence, Nigeria, where he went to school, boarding school. And I thought about, maybe this wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that he is in Nigeria and Efe Ajagba is Nigerian. And it's pretty much a done deal, right, between Ajagba and Bakole to fight for the final eliminator. And it just made me think, the interview that he had, I want Tyson Fury. I want to fight Tyson Fury. It's no, I want to fight Tyson Fury, isn't it? Yeah. None of that. It was more like, he sounded more African in Nigeria. Those chameleon skills are kicking in. You know what I mean? Those familiar things you hear. It's like when I go back to the islands, man. Things like that. When you go back to a place that you were familiar with the jargon, he sounds a lot more Nigerian now than he did when he was in the UK. In the UK, I think it's a good fight, isn't it? That versus now, I want to fight Tyson Fury in 2025. I must keep going. I must fight. I must continue. I'm like, sounds very Nigerian. So I think it was a act of choosing your countrymen. Like I told you guys, it was a national thing, I thought. Well, with Bakale's taking that personally because he's like, hey, listen, look, how many times did I ask you to fight me in Africa? Which, to be fair, I don't know what that had to do with him picking Efe Ajagba, but he then said, you're talking shit. I want you to be there so you can watch me beat this baby of Ajagba, and then I want you. That's some African gangster stuff right there. Because you don't normally hear Efe Ajagba even curse. I mean, Bakole curse. You don't hear him curse. You don't hear Efe curse either, to be fair. But you don't really hear Martin Bakole curse at all. He's just normally this big giant, now he's just like, you can tell he's mad. And I think he's trying to express his feelings of his anger towards AJ. You know what I mean? And I think AJ should be there. And Anthony Joshua, though, being Africa is his roots. Okay. I think he has a lot of fights he could fight for many reasons. He fought Francis Ngannou and, that thing, knockout chaos and all that, that could have been a start of something very special for AJ. But if Martin Bakole destroys Efe Ajagba and then calls out Anthony Joshua and stays on his neck, he's going to have to at some point, especially if Martin Bakole gets a fight with Danny Dubois, and Danny Dubois is another guy that he mentioned in this video. He's going to be a problem So for everyone that hears Martin McCaulay, if there's any inkling of truth of what Martin did to these guys in sparring, like broke Daniel Dubois' nose twice in sparring and stopped Usyk and stopped Joe Joyce and, went to war with Anthony Joshua. So if those were the factors and those were truth, if there's some truth to that, a lot of these heavyweights are in trouble, especially if he goes out there and manhandles Efe Ajagba. If he does a similar job on Efe Ajagba than he did on Jared Anderson, a lot of fighters are going to be in trouble, and then somebody's going to have to step up to the bat. Because the next step for Daniel Dubois, that's if he gets past Joseph Parker in his own challenging fight, he's going to have to fight another challenging fighter. So it's a beautiful time in the heavyweight industry, in the heavyweight division, because you have a guy that's now getting the opportunities that he didn't have before. They messed around and threw him on the undercard, and he wrecked shop on that opponent. And that opponent was very destined to be somebody. And then he's just now making his own return February 14th, Jared Big Baby Anderson. So it's a lot of fighters that's going to have to see Martin McCaulay if he keeps beating people. Okay? And I want AJ to be there. I think that will make that venue that night bigger. You know what I mean? I think that would be something worth seeing, especially if he chose to publicly pick a side. And I think that's what's wrong with Martin McCaulay. Martin McCauley's pissed because you decided to pick a side. Now, it makes sense because all those questions that should have been answered or those comments that should have been said that AJ decided not to even pick a side, he picked a side this time. So that shows you that, hey, it took some energy on why you decided to pick someone publicly over someone that you knew. Because again, I don't know if AJ even knows Efe Ajagba. You know what I'm saying? I know he knows of him, but I don't know if he knows him personally. Has he sparred with him? Have they hung out? Have they ate, just chilled out together? I don't know. I have no idea. But for him to say publicly, I think Efe will get Martin McCaulay, it may show a sign of disrespect. That's why Martin saying you're talking shite, simply based off the fact that you don't even know. But wait, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to this baby from Nigeria. You call yourself Nigerian now. I want you. I don't even want the baby. I want you. But you guys tell me what you think of Martin McCaulay blasting Anthony Joshua over the comments that he made in a quick, rapid response. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!